Good morning to everyone. I am the engineer Fabrizio Tomaro and I work in the technical department of G&P Intech. Today I will present three important structural reinforcement interventions, case history, carried out on historic buildings in masonry located in the historic center of the municipality of Mirandola near Modena, severely damaged by the earthquake that struck Emilia-Romagna in May 2012. G&P Intech represents, thanks to its know-how and international partnership, an important technology reality of reference in structural, engineering and architecture. We offer a complete service from design to construction site with certified products and technologies, consulting and technical assistance, and professional training. For over 30 years, G&P Intech has been designing and producing innovative solutions for ordinary and monumental buildings and infrastructures in field of seismic engineering, providing technologies for structural reinforcement through the use of FRP fiber-reinforced polymers, FRCM fiber-reinforced cementitious matrix, and CRM composite reinforced mortar systems that increase flexural and shear strength, for example in reinforced concrete pillars, and ductility in the case of load-bearing masonry. We also provide solutions for seismic isolation and dissipation. Before going into detail about the reinforcement interventions carried out on buildings with G&P Intech materials and technologies, let's briefly review the seismic events that hit Emilia-Romagna in 2012. The first earthquake occurred on the morning of May 20, 2012, with the epicenter between Finale Emilia and Mirandola, near Modena, at a depth of about 6.3 kilometers, causing 7 confirmed deaths, around 50 injured, and more than 5,000 people lost their homes. In addition, there were huge damages on historical buildings and companies. In the morning of May the 29th, Emilia-Romagna was hit by a new earthquake of magnitude 5.8 with the epicenter between Medolla and Cavezzo near Modena, and the consequences were even worse with 20 victims, 350 injured, and the destructions of symbolic buildings. This slide shows the collapses suffered by load-bearing masonry buildings, towers, and pre-stressed concrete beams of companies located in the epicenter area. The G&P Intech Group in these long years has contributed to the rebirth of several municipalities of the seismic criteria, and in particular of the municipality of Mirandola, where the main works carried out using structural reinforcement systems with composite materials concerned Palazzo della Ragione, Palazzo Municipale, and the Teatro Nuovo. The Palazzo della Ragione is a historic building that dates back to the 14th century, located in the municipality of Mirandola and overlooks Piazza della Costituente next to the Palazzo Comunale and in front of Palazzo Bergomi. After the earthquake of May 2012, the Palazzo della Ragione was strongly damaged and were therefore subject to an accurate retrofitting and structural consolidation carried out with the CFRP carbon fiber reinforced polymers systems of the company G&P Intech. The reinforcement intervention with the CFRP system adopted for the structural consolidation of the Palazzo della Ragione are a reinforcement system in unidirectional carbon fabric with a grammage of 300 grams per square meters applied with epoxy adhesives, and 360 grams per square meter bidirectional carbon fabric reinforcement system, also applied with epoxy adhesives arranged at an angle to perform shear reinforcement. The consolidation with the reinforcement system in unidirectional carbon fabric with a weight of 300 grams per square meter involved also the floor as well as the load-bearing walls of the building. To ensure a better anchorage of the fabric to the masonry support in both systems were applied carbon fiber connectors with a diameter of 10 millimeters embedded in the bearing masonry with epoxy adhesives. Finally, the consolidation of the flight of stairs was carried out using the FRCM system, fiber-reinforced cementitious matrix, characterized by the application of an alkali-resistant fiberglass mesh and M15 natural hydraulic lime-based mortar. This slide shows a photo of the open day at the construction site of the Palazzo della Ragione in Mirandola, which took place on the 3rd of July 2019. The second intervention concerned the Palazzo Municipio of Mirandola, which was the seat of the town hall until the tragic seismic events that struck Emilia in May 2012. The building is located at the end of the southern part of Piazza della Costituente and, together with the Pico Castle, turns out to be one of the most recognizable symbols of the city. After the 2012 earthquake in Emilia, the historic town hall was heavily damaged, presenting various damages and collapses. The tests carried out in situ punctually by means of a double jack revealed numerous masonry stratification. For example, type 1 recently built and good quality masonry, type 2 with a medium quality historic masonry, type 3 poor quality historic masonry, and at the end type 4 poor quality historic masonry with earth and mud mortar. The table shows the mechanical properties derived from the investigation for each masonry type. This slide shows the calculation of the mechanical parameters of the masonry reinforced with the FRCM system on both sides of the wall's face, consisting of basal mesh of a weight equal to 450 grams per square meters and the mortar limecrete M15 using the formulas given in the document CNR and NTC 18. For example, considering type 1, we have a percentage increase in shear equal to about 80% compared to an reinforced masonry. Some internal walls of the building have been reinforced by insertion of high-strength galvanized steel fiber strips with a weight of 700 grams per square meters and hydraulic lime-based mortar on both faces, and to improve anchorage to the support, S-Fix G10 galvanized steel fiber connectors have been applied, and drawings were provided by the company Answer. In the case of the other masonry walls, diffused plating intervention has been foreseen with a reinforcing net in basalt fiber having a weight of 450 grams per square meters and structural mortar in hydraulic lime M15 applied on both faces of the masonry. Finally, with regard to the external walls of the building, in order to ensure the exposed face, the ANCHORSTEEL net system was used. The structural reinforcement intervention carried out using a reticulatus system for exposed brickwork essentially consists in the insertion of the mortar joints scarified to a depth of 50-60 millimeters of a continuous mesh made with strands of galvanized steel, whose nodes, generally every two, are fixed to the wall face by means of helical bars in stainless steel with a diameter of 10 mm with fine repointing of the joints by means of M10 hydraulic lime mortar. The last case history concerned the consolidation intervention of the Teatro Nuovo Mirandola that after the earthquake of 2012 was severely damaged and since a few months is the subject of a deep restoration and rehabilitation work. We can see some internal and external photos of the construction site where structural reinforcement works are being carried out with the G&P Intech materials and technologies. The consolidation intervention concerned first of all the masonry pillars on which it was planned a structural reinforcement through carbon fiber fabrics of 300 grams per square meters applied according to the provisions shown in the figure. Drawings were provided by the engineer Mario Fiorini. For the structural reinforcement system of the internal walls with the CFRM reinforced plaster, it was decided to apply a preformed rigid fiberglass CFRP mesh with M15 hydraulic lime-based mortar and alkali resistant glass fiber L-shaped rigid preformed anchor connectors. For the CRM system, diagonal tests have been carried out at University of Perugia in order to investigate the increases of resistance offered by the system on masonry panels obtained in situ. Tests were performed on 3 different panels. The first masonry panels with the hydraulic lime mortar injection, the second reinforced with mortar injection and CFRM reinforced plaster, and the last that is a reinforced panel. The tension and strain graph show an important increase in the masonry panel reinforced with the injection and CFRM reinforced plaster compared to the other 2 panels. The table summarizes the results of the diagonal compression test performed on 3 specimens, showing the ultimate cracking load, the tensile strength by diagonal cracking, the shear strength, and other parameters. It can be seen that increase in shear strength of the reinforced panel with injection of mortar and reinforced plaster is 279%. The slide shows the comparison of the results obtained following the 3 different calculation criteria adopted for the determination of the average shear resistance of the masonry sample under examination according to the type of consolidation adopted. G&P Intech provides this guideline in order to illustrate the main intervention technologies aimed at reducing the seismic vulnerability of buildings operating mainly from the outside of the building with low invasiveness and discomfort for condominiums and meets the need of take advantage of tax bonuses. The guideline has been drafted in order to help the professional, the company, and the general contractor to choose the most suitable intervention for the building under study. Thanks for your attention.